Hi there, welcome back to my Let's Play of Morrowind. It's a Monday. Rambling Monday. Rambly Monday? Something rambles. We are going to be continuing on with this Stronghold quest. We need to go and secure some miners. He's definitely moving. I'm sure he started off about here. I bet he resets very slightly each time we use it, like this much. And each time we use it, and now he's halfway down the stairs. I wonder if this can get us in trouble anywhere. Anyway, we need to go back to Nesis, which is somewhere we went last mission, but I messed up, didn't I? Because I didn't actually go and get the miner I need. What's the route? Aldrune, I think, is the best way. I'm trying to remember my way around all these places. And then Nesis. And then we are going to wait till daytime and get going. So apparently one of the miners we can hire is in a place north of Nesis, so we'll head out there and see what we can find as we meander around and ramble about some things, because, as I say, we do as few cuts as we can on a Monday, few edits as possible. Just do it in one long take of me just talking absolute rubbish. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. I have a issue that's persistent all the way to this point, and that issue is a Tarkov issue. And the issue is just that I really like that game and end up spending more time doing it. Like, I have sorry, I need to remember. Oh, I thought the Dreamer was going to be attacking me. No, okay. So yeah, the issue is just I really like that game and I keep playing it when I want to be doing other things for the channel. But I think I'm going to do a few videos on it. I've set up the thing on Shadowplay. There we go. I've set up the thing on Shadowplay to have it so I can do an instant replay record, which is a cool little feature and not one I've used before. But the idea being, I can't be sitting there doing long records of Tarkov, because I'm just going to end up with gigabytes of files and data of videos that I don't particularly need for any other purpose. But if I do like instant records of good moments, which I missed one this morning as well. I got out of a raid with on my scav, going in with just a pistol, getting a kill, and also like getting a fair few bits and bobs, only to get back to my hideout and try and put it all away. And I messed up because my hideout had no space. Which, if like, these are all Tarkov specific terms, but scavs are basically scavengers, and they're AI most of the time, but you can spawn in as one once every sort of 20 minutes or so, and you can go in, and it's basically, if you die you lose everything. If you get out, you get to go at well, if you get out you get everything on them, but then you get a new scav in 20 minutes time. It doesn't, like, there doesn't seem to be any lore reasons for it, but it's a cool little feature. And so I did this run on this scav and got out with loads of stuff, but when you get back you need to put all your stuff in your hideout, in your stash, and I didn't have any space in the stash, and the way that they've got the screens is it actually punishes you for not having space in your stash, so I didn't manage to get everything off the scav. Oh, level 60 destruction though. That's not bad, so we only need to do 30 more levels. I can see some cheating being involved there, definitely. I think I need a way of increasing my intelligence as well, which I know is a statement you probably think about a lot of people. But on this, I think intelligence is linked to magicka, and I would like just a touch more. But yeah, so I've did that on Tarkov, but hopefully we can go and get some instant replays. I think the next video I want to do on it is talking about the scav systems. I think this is going to be the guy's home. We've gone all the way, like a long route around, but Vabdus, is this going to be it? Widow Vabdus, no. Okay, let me like find the exact location of this person, because even though it's going to be a rambly one, I don't want it to be I don't want to just be wandering and doing nothing. I want to make some progress whilst I ramble. So I've not managed to find this person's house. But I really like the area. This area is really like nice looking. So I thought I'd just show you. Oh, of course, I go to daytime so I can show it better, and it's misty as all hell. Yeah, apparently the person we're after lives around here in a cave of some sort. But, like, I think I always had the impression that this game was kind of monotone in its area. Even though the area was really interesting, I thought it was just like mushrooms or go home sort of thing. But actually, we're proving... Well, not proving it, people knew this beforehand. It's been proved to me by the game that the different biomes are actually wildly different. Like how hilly this area is, and but like still greenery and a few dead trees, and then that Dwemer sort of housing there. I think it all comes together quite nicely. Yeah, it's a shame that they didn't continue this. Like, stepping towards the mundane, I think, was the wrong route for these games. I like them, like, in the world design. I like the sort of extravagant world design, but then with mundane mechanics of the quests inside. I think it shows that even however fantastical these worlds we build are, that, you know, people are still politicking, people are still bribing each other, people are still doing what we like would call a fetch quest. But fetch quests are still fun, you know. Fun? No, wrong term. They're probably the realist representation of what a quest would probably look like in real life. I'm not sure if that's true. It feels true, but sometimes something feels true and you actually sit there and think it through and you're like, oh no, I made a mistake with that. So, yeah. Do you know what I think I would really like in this game? A cost to resting. So, like, having to actually set up a camp and use resources. Have it so the game's balanced around that fact, but have it so that, you know, I was just thinking then, basically, in this area now, I think we've spent about 3 days, just because I've been healing up my magicka via resting, which is legitimate. It's what we've got to do because we want to become a mage. But the game is balanced around the fact that we can, like, heal up after every encounter, essentially. But it'd be cool if it wasn't balanced around that. It was balanced around more infrequent heals, but meant that we could, you know, rest, set up a camp and things. Anything that's going to put you in the world. God, there's loads of caves around here, but not the cave I want. So it was in Nisus itself. Of course it was. But we got to explore, like, another little nice biome, so here we go. Hello, Tansamaran. Yes, I am the Nerverine, but more importantly, I have an egg mine. It's up on the hill. No, I don't care about your egg mine. What about my egg mine? Recruit some miners. Yes, I'm an egg miner. I'm looking for work. Why do you ask? I need miners for the Sherdan Rapley mine. I heard that the mine was going to open again despite the bandits and the blight. I will serve you and your house faithfully. I will be at the mine with my crew in a few days. My egg mine be working. So, let's head back to the mine. So we need to go back and talk to the person who gave us the quest for the mine. But anyway, on to my other hobby. It is a bloody hobby at the moment as well. Do you know what the worst thing is? I'm recording this on a Tuesday, and today is the day that Final Fantasy XIV gets its update. I'm just like, oh, I could play that. I could play that. I could so go for some Final Fantasy XIV right now. But I don't think I've got time to be starting an MMO. Not when my Tarkov habit is only increasing. Like, I'm at the stage, like, today's my day off, and I need to do some exercise, I need to record some videos, I need to do this, that, and the other. And I'm at the stage where it's like, oh yeah, 20 minutes has passed, I better go and do my scav run. And then carry on with my day. Which I think is, it's rare that games properly get under my skin anymore, but it does happen. I'd say it happens a couple of times a year, which is, I think, a good rate of happening of that. Whereas, like, when I was younger, it was probably every single game I played. Hello, Dondrus. Stronghold. Okay. Your stronghold is now helping House Halalu with business and trade. I will give the orders to begin the next phase of construction. I was just wondering if he would let me know. You've recruited some miners. Give you steady income. Okay, we need to wait a week. I'm just going to do it outside with these two things in front of me. So yeah, Yeah, I'd be interested. I'm thinking of starting up Final Fantasy 14 as like my chill game for a bit instead of being playing, you know, the mundane games that I've been doing. But I don't know. I might start it and see what happens and see how it goes. Journals have been updated already. Let's go and speak to Dondros. Stronghold. The improvements to your stronghold are complete. Speak to me again when you need a stronghold fit for a counsellor. Well, I think we have to go and have a look at it, don't we? Look at the improvements we've done. So, yeah, that's sort of my position on that. I think if I install it, the thing is I have to pay for what's it called? Membership. And I currently have an ongoing RuneScape membership, and I like that game, but it is definitely my poop game. You know, open up the phone, fletch a bit for half an hour, or watch some TV late at night and fletch a bit for half hour or something. It's not something I'm taking too seriously. Yeah, I think I might get rid of RuneScape from my life, actually. We'll see. Anyhow, yeah, I think Tarkov is overtaking because I've not got the fear. I mean, the fear is still there and it still makes me jump occasionally, but when you first start it, it's like every raid is hand sweating. But I've kind of numbed the edge of that, and now I'm starting to have, I'm exerting more control over the game. And by that, I don't mean I'm winning. Nope. I'm only getting out some of the time. I have good days and bad days, which I think is true of every Tarkov player. Ooh, we've got a door. But I'm getting to the stage where, like, progression, when you're learning something, you get peaks and troughs of progression and failure and moving forward, and then plateaus. I'm like currently in a Tarkov peak. I'm moving forward quickly and really enjoying it, and like I've come up with a structure that I can use for doing some records as well for it. This is really nice. This is like, I think this game pulls a lot more from Roman history than you may think. I mean, the house is not much bigger, which I actually prefer. I don't want it to be much bigger than this. But I like the fact that it's got like a walled off section. What's in the tower? Oh.
Please join me.
We've got house trainer. I wonder how good the chests are in this area, because I know some of the chests are not the best. Some ebony weapons. Not something we need. And the ability to look out over the area nearby. It's quite nice. This is a fun quest line, actually. I like the way they tie it into something and like give some reasoning behind it. And that reasoning might be just like, oh, do business better, but it's cool. But yeah, now I've figured out a way that I can record Tarkov. That means I'm going to be able to get some content out here and there. I don't want to like become just a Tarkov player, but I like to, if I'm playing a game a lot and I like it, I like to try and think about it critically and produce something from it. It is sort of my approach. And I think that leads into the most interesting sort of places. And I think my thoughts on the next thing is a conversation about how the scavs work. I want to do something on the guns in the game, which I've said. But I think that's going to be a while down the line because there's a lot of thought that needs to go into that. And I need to do some research as well. But the actual scav system, sort of the ability to get a free play every 20 minutes that has low consequences and some slight reward, but there is a cost for doing it as well. Every time you take your scav out and you're not taking your main character out, you're not leveling up your main character. All of which is essential for some of the background progression stuff. Like, you only get new quests at certain levels, you only get hideout upgrades at certain levels, and all of these things feed into making the game easier for yourself. So even though like there's this system for trying this really hardcore game and playing it, it actually does limit you in some way. But I think that's a good idea. It's like a good cost benefit sort of thing. You sacrifice something to gain something else, which the things you gain are beneficial to a new player, but the things that you gain may be less beneficial to a old hand at the game, meaning that they can avoid the system. And I think it's just even if it narratively doesn't fit, it's a stroke of genius, to be honest. it's one of the best ways I've seen of getting new players into a game without severely affecting other aspects of the game. And I think there is some arguments that people make that they don't like the scav system and they think it takes something away, but I do think it adds more than it takes away, simply because really, if you're an old hand, you don't want to be scavving much apart from right at the beginning. You rather leave your scav runs and be leveling up your PMC and making progression there. But at the same time, if you're a new player, you've got that cost-free thing. And the way I use it at the moment... Sorry about that. The way I use it at the moment is very much as a way of either getting a loadout, which I did at the beginning because I lost some very basic loadouts very quickly because I was a bit rusty, or I use it to explore maps that I'm unfamiliar with at relatively cost-free. And I definitely recommend that way of using it. Business. House Redrun built a stronghold without a charter from the Duke. You're the perfect Dark Elf to teach Redrun Lord Bandrin Injuries a lesson. Has an enchanted stronghold. The Redrun stronghold of Inderis Manor is on the east side of the road from Aldrune to Margan, in a place called Bal Isra. Go there and kill the master of the stronghold, Bandrin Inderis. I know you won't disappoint me. Cool. I mean, that's a tick up from what we've been doing. We've been, like, you know, grassing on people and doing subterfuge, but I suppose if we don't get caught killing, is that technically subterfuge? Maybe. But yeah, that's been my my time and thoughts on Tarkov currently. I think it's... I don't know, I'm just getting a lot out of it. And I've said this before, but I get a lot out of games that, you know, have a learning curve. That I enjoy the process of gaining new knowledge and becoming better and seeing those improvements. And that game, like, offers that in heaps. So if that's, like, something of interest to you and you don't mind it being difficult, I'd suggest giving it a try. I definitely want to talk about some of the politics in that game as well, because it has some assumptions that probably weigh the game down a little. But it's definitely, I'd say, a spiritual successor to Stalker and things like that. Even though with Stalker, I actually, I played that in the last year or so. I didn't have the best time with it. It was okay. I think I played it in lockdown, maybe. Or was it before lockdown? It was fine. It's a good game, actually, but I don't think it's aged particularly well, and I think the things that it did really well aren't as impressive these days. Aldrune, wasn't it? So let's go Balmora. And then... oh god, he's really far away now. Then Aldrune. Go to daytime, because I know it's hard to see. And then Bal Isra? Oh, okay. We've been there before. Sort of this way out of town, then up around that way. Okay, cool. What else have I been playing? I've been trying to play a bit of EU4. My mates are going to be starting an online game of that soon, and I wanted to pick up and play a bit of it for to pick up the game again. And I might try one more time today for that. But I've tried to play it a couple of times, and it's just not clicking the way it did. And I just think, like, talking about learning curves, like, because I'm not going to be playing the game a lot, and maybe a couple of times a week, the learning curve for it is too steep for that type of play. And it's been about 2 years since I regularly played that game. I mean, when I was playing it, I played like 90 hours in quite a short space of time, and I really, really loved it. But then I moved on to different things, as I always do. But I think it's still an excellent, excellent game. It's just picking up sort of the play of it, especially when you're playing online as well, because I don't think you can pause, or if you can, everyone has to agree with it. And the way I play that game is stop, 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 stop. So you want to be able to, like, you want to actually be able to make your decisions whilst the game's paused, you know. Not paused whilst the game's going, so that while you're playing with everyone, you're not having to hold people up. And I just think for me to get there might be a little while. But I haven't found a good start I like either. Each of the starts I've played, I've just not like had a good time with it. So that could definitely be contributing. For those who don't know, by the way, because EU4 is a bit... it's like... it's mainstream fringe, I'd say. Like, if you all you know is Call of Duty, you won't have a clue who Paradox are or what they're doing. But if you like have a toe in strategy games, you probably are aware of it. But it's a grand strategy game where you control a nation from the year 1444 through to the 1800s or something, and you take it through that whole period of sort of Renaissance, or late medieval to Renaissance era, and you can play like European nations, Chinese nations, I think even some American uh, natives as well, and you can like play in that era. And like where you play on the map, like if you play in Central Europe, it's a different game to playing in China, and it's like combines some historical role play with some map painting with like the way I always think about Paradox games is I could describe one system to you right now and you'd be like, oh yeah, I get that, and then you just have 100 of those, and that's how the game sort of functions. You just you always have like the a lot of different smaller, relatively straightforward systems that interact with each other to create a simulation, and I think they're a lot of fun, but they take a bit of learning. You have to be willing to make some mistakes. I think that's why EU4 is actually my favourite, because it punishes mistakes, but it's rarely game over from mistakes. You know, you might lose a bit of territory, you might strengthen an opponent, but there is always a way out, because the systems have enough depth to sort of manipulate them and get what you want from them. So for some reason I've ended up clearing all the enemies from around this stronghold. Yeah, it's interesting to me that I'm actually having such a good time with Morrowind, because I think this is very typically the type of game I actually dislike these days. And I don't know if it's just seeing a sort of historical thing or playing it and talking over it, because it does suit that for me. Because I'm not, I'm like focused on the game and the story, but because I'm also just having a couple of rambly days, and because I'm, you know, I sort of play the game, don't think about it for a while, and then like hook up and engage with the story again and be like, oh, this is what's happening. Can we just go in here? Yeah. Oh, he's got a croissant house. So I'm just weighing up what we need to do. It's going to be it's going to be one of the ones where we have to taunt them, I guess. Andaris? No. I should be getting a shock mount soon for my mic. You look like an Andaris. Abandoned. Oh! We're going straight into combat, are we? I don't think we've broken the law then. You know, he attacked me. For some reason, I suppose he is a Dunmer, isn't he? And they have fire resistances. What's he wearing? Bone mold. Nothing worth... Oh, that looks nice. Yeah, nothing too of interest. Nothing happened in there.
Come on.
You didn't hear fireballs. What are you on about? You're imagining them. Yeah, I think with this game, it's definitely a component of it is like, how is this different to the other games I liked in this series? Why did I like those other games? It's a bit of re-evaluation of myself and my taste in games, as well as evaluation of the games themselves. I mean, I find it weird that I've actually like developed such a connection to this game as well, because it's one I've always tried in the past and didn't have the patience for, but for some reason now it has clicked. Although I do classically have a lot of patience for games these days. I simultaneously have loads of patience for games and no patience for games. I have loads of patience for games that sometimes demand it. You know, playing like Euro Truck Simulator, you just driving around. Or playing EU or Tarkov, where you've got to like be right, chill, move on. Dark Souls, loads of patience for those. But then like I'll play Horizon Zero Dawn or I'll play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm good, I'm good. It's why I think we've talked about it recently, but it's why I'm a little cooler on Cyberpunk, because it's kind of everything that I've got bored of now. And that's not to say it's bad. That's not to say it's bad. I've just played a lot of those things. I like the things that are like... Yeah, the way I characterize it is I like the things where I can't immediately understand the possibility space. When the possibility space is just like, oh, that can happen. And remains interesting throughout. I think that keeps me interested in a game. And Tarkov definitely has that. It's like, even though I know that the firefights are going to take a certain structure, there's enough variables in there for me currently to be like, well, I'm losing a lot. And there's enough, I can see enough knowledge on my side. Like, I was fighting a guy today, it was a pistol run that I was talking about earlier, and I had been a bit decimated, but I'd also got some good shots in on him. And we were on two sides of cover, but very close. And I heard him reloading, and I heard that he was having to reload one piece of ammo at a time. It was a manual reload. It didn't have a magazine. So like I just capitalized on that, like jumped around the corner even though I was like wheezing and bleeding everywhere, and just managed to get my shots in. But like just that knowledge that that's what was happening allowed me to succeed there. Where am I going? I'm going to Vivek. And then that's not like particularly unique knowledge, but it's those small things like, I know what's happening. Right, here we go. Let's do this.
Where would you like to go?
And yeah, just running around the corner and just unloading my mag in turn. It was good. And I was bleeding, and I like sprinted off with blood and pain everywhere and nearly died before I got to the end. But luckily I wasn't too far away from that. Oh god, that game's good. I need to like do loads of things today, but I might just go and play some more Tarkov. We'll see. We'll see. I'm thinking the EU thing, I might just start a game as Mamluks and see how that goes, and if not, then I'll just say to my friends that they'll have to play their multiplayer game between them, and I'll just install Final Fantasy XIV instead and make those poor life decisions. I've never got super deep into an MMO. So there's a part of me that always wants to, you know, do some raiding and stuff, but it also can't take over my life either. Yeah, I've played like 60 hours of that game previously as well. I really liked it. I actually did like finish all the main story and started the in-between quests, and for some reason fell off there. I think it's because I knew they were changing them, and there was probably like 100 hours of them. Bandon Induriz. So Induriz Manor is no more. Good work, Marabou. Take these 1,000 drakes. Advancement? I'm a father. Cool. Business. It would be a good idea to win the support of another councilman in my suite. Of the councilman, I believe Dram Barrow has the courage to support an outlander. So you found Dram Barrow and he gave you support. Find out who else needs to be the Halalu Hortator. Okay, this is like, yeah, this is getting mixed up. You are the Hortator of House Halalu. I know. Okay, there's a weird thing happening here. Let's find Dram Barrow and see if we can like click the right buttons to make it move forward. Right, that's going to be enough for today. I hope you enjoyed the rambly one. The next two will be more sort of just getting quests done and doing the record that way. If you could drop a like to support me, that would be really, really good. Really, really helpful. If you've played any Escape from Tarkov, talk about it in the comments, please, because I want to hear your opinions, and I will respond, because I have opinions of my own, so we can share those. And subscribe if you want more of this sort of content. Please do. It'd be good. My name's been Billy, and we're doing that lap around the Halalu compound again to end. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.